we found out that my own house had a damaged roof and we needed to replace it before we sold the house. So we replaced the roof on April 2nd. We were going to close on April the 6th. April the 4th, we had a massive hailstorm hit Allen. My house had a roof that was 2 days old. I had to replace it again.
Welcome to Growing Your Business with Buddy Broyles, helping businesses share their voice, build authority, and grow through meaningful conversations. Joining me today on the Growing Your Business podcast is my friend Catherine Brenneman. Yes. With RoofHero. Hi, Catherine.
RoofHero. Hey.
How long have you been with RoofHero?
So I've been in roofing amazingly 14 years now.
Okay. And RoofHero, how long for that?
So we renamed our company a couple years ago, and I'll tell you about that later.
Excellent.
But 14 years.
Okay. What would you say sets you and RoofHero apart from the vast competitors out there? This is Texas, after all.
Well, I have different equipment than a lot of people in my industry, so I am a female.
Yeah. You're equipped differently for this task.
I'm a little different.
Yeah, sure.
And one of the reasons I first got into the industry was that I kept running into contractors that were very focused on serving the male in the family and not listening to the needs of everyone in the family. And so when I experienced that personally and had a change in my career path, I'm like, well, why not be a home service person? Because most of the people in the home are women.
Yeah.
So I love being able to service niche markets. I love being able to help senior citizens because it's a passion of mine that they're not taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Today, in fact, we're installing a roof for a lady who's 96.
Oh, wow.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I bet she has some interesting stories to tell.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I mean, just that she made it this long,
you
know?
And she deserves a new roof, like everybody else. And so tell me about what makes RoofHero a hero. Well, let's talk about the name and your policies and procedures, the things you do that set you apart.
So RoofHero is really born out of our hero brand. We also have StormHero. And our whole vision is, hey, weather in Texas is not getting any easier. No. The competitive environment of our line of business is not getting any easier for homeowners to tolerate. And what we want to be is that different type of contractor who doesn't knock on your door, who doesn't do things the wrong way. We want to focus on respecting somebody's property, respecting their home, respecting their insurance company. We want to make sure that when the storm is passed and the job is done, they're happy they found us. And so that's the main differentiator. There's so many people that come here and storm chase, and the storm is done and they're done and pew, they're gone.
Well, knowing you personally, we're in a business group together. I know that you have a long history in technology or IT or something to that effect. I'm looking to expand on that. And what matters, I think, what gives people comfort, I'm sure, is you understanding every nuance of the business and processes, actually being consistent with the way you do things. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm very process driven.
Yes.
A lot of people get technology and then they build a system to comply with that technology. And we're a little reverse of that. So we make sure that we understand our process first, and then we apply the technology to that process. So what that enables to do is pivot well and make sure that we adapt to the changing marketplace. So for example, what we do today is not what we did 5 years ago. And that's because materials have advanced, systems have advanced. Our ability to give instant estimates, for example, didn't exist 5 years ago. Yeah. But it does today, and so we offer that on our website. The other thing that's, I guess, a reward of our process and our commitment to doing things the right way is that we're on 6 of the top 10 carriers in Texas, their managed repair programs.
And what is that? What does that mean?
So carriers in Texas can allow a homeowner to either choose the open market of competitors, or they say, hey, we have a list of vetted, trusted vendors. Would you like to work with one of them? And we're on 6 of the 10 top carriers list of vetted vendors. And so that's also a huge accomplishment for us, in that they recognize that our process works. They recognize that our customer service works. They recognize that we're committed to doing things the right way.
And that gives the homeowner confidence.
Mm-hmm. It gives them the knowledge that, hey, this person has had a background check probably deeper than the IRS in a few cases. Yeah. If you're listening from the IRS, I didn't mean that. But it's a very deep dive into our finances, into our ability to do the work the right way, and the customer satisfaction. And so it just gives the homeowner an extra sense of trust when a storm hits. It's a little disheartening to see the number of companies out just swarming like neighborhoods. Vultures. And I get that they're wanting to help, but they're also wanting to help themselves. And so our company comes from a place of, we just want to help you. If you need a tarp, we're going to tarp your roof. If you need a claim assessment, we're going to assess your claim on behalf of the carrier. So that's really where we come from, and why we consider ourselves heroes.
Well, earlier you mentioned the older woman who needed a roof. Everyone loves a story. Mm-hmm. So tell me a story or two about people who, however they came to you, mm-hmm. you got them to where they needed to be.
Yeah, so one of my favorite stories is one of my insurance agents. So one of my insurance agents called me, and they actually needed a roof assessment because they had some issues going on. We went out, we found that they had damage from a storm, and they do travel, so it was possible that they were out of town when the storm hit. Filed a claim with the carrier that they represent, and the carrier said, no, it's all good. And we were able to take them through a process that enabled them to ultimately get the full roof replaced. So it was great that even somebody in the industry with knowledge of the front side of the experience for insurance was able to have such a positive outcome in the claims experience process. Because most people assume that the insurance is going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Most people assume I should call the insurance company first after a storm. And in all reality, you really shouldn't. You should call a reliable roofer. And the reason for that is you don't know what you don't know. You've seen on TV storms where a tornado will hit a neighborhood and 5 houses are absolutely fine, and the 3 on the end of the street are completely gone. And hailstorms aren't really that different. The wind blowing a certain way or the house positioned one way versus another may mean one is totally fine and the other is not. So that was a great success, and that we were able to help somebody in the industry navigate through it. The other one was my personal property. So when I first moved to Texas, I had experienced the wave of pretty much no deductibles, because me personally, the first time we had to have a roof replaced was in Garland, and we had not a huge house, but our deductible was $250.
Wow.
Now, we didn't want to pay that, right? We thought that was a lot of money, but that was 1995. So that was a hot minute ago. And I thought I had a lot of experience in replacing a roof. So fast forward to the year I started roofing, and we were selling our home to move to a home that would accommodate my mom living with us. And along the way, we found out that my own house had a damaged roof, and we needed to replace it before we sold the house. So we replaced the roof on April 2nd.
Oh, I can feel this coming.
We were going to close on April the 6th. April the 4th, we had a massive hailstorm hit Allen. My house had a roof that was 2 days old. I had to replace it again.
Oh, that makes me sick.
So The win in that scenario was that I knew the steps to take to make sure my house still sold on time and to make sure I was able to fast track that claim with the insurance company and get all the approvals on paper and get everything set with title that the repairs would be done and the funds would be transferred after, et cetera. So knowing that process and knowing how to navigate really unique situations, thankfully that hasn't happened to anybody I've serviced again, but those situations happen. And believe it or not, if a hailstorm hits a house that's for sale and it's scheduled to close at 5 o'clock, if that storm hits at 4 o'clock, it's still your responsibility. Mm-hmm. And you still have to cover that. Yeah. So there's a lot of unique situations that people who are brand new to the industry or who are maybe just in it for the hail chasing aren't equipped to navigate.
Yeah. And you've built a business that is.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And the key part there is another thing that really distinguishes us. We are not a company of 1099 storm chasers. We're not an eat what you kill, go beat your chest type company. We are employee-based. We have W-2 employees. We don't have salespeople. We're not commission-driven. And so it changes our whole mentality of how we service customers.
Yeah.
We do have a construction manager that's on site at every job. In fact, Mickey today is hanging out with Miss J, who's our 96-year-old. And he's there making sure everything goes right.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that we have employees who have background checks, who have years of experience in the industry that I knew personally before I ever brought into the company.
Yeah.
Ready to amplify your brand's voice? At Blue Mike Studios, we transform your ideas into captivating podcasts and videos. Whether you're launching your own show or guest starring on ours, we've got you covered. From recording and editing to social media promotion. With state-of-the-art 4K video and crystal clear audio, your content will shine. We offer guest packages on our podcasts and offer segments from the show for you to share. Or let us help you build your own branded podcast with custom strategy, branding, and full production support. Visit BlueMikeStudios.com today and let your voice be heard.
What is your favorite thing about what you do?
I love taking stuff that is beat up or doesn't look the best it can or maybe isn't the right color. And when we have to redo stuff, especially from storm damage, taking that opportunity to make it look even better.
Yeah.
And restoring it to an even better condition than it was before. My passion actually is to stop roofing in Texas. People think I'm crazy, but I'm like, no. If we could just put better materials on a home, if we could just make it a little bit more hail resistant, it's really going to benefit all of us.
Yeah.
We'll have maybe lower insurance rates, lower premiums, less waste in the landfill. That's a good thing for everybody. Shingles are made of a raw material. I don't want to keep wasting those things. So every roof we do, we install a minimum of an impact-resistant shingle. Sometimes we help homeowners understand there's permanent roof solutions that will cost a little bit more, but it's worth it in the long run. So that's probably my favorite part of this is trying to have a more sustainable product on a home and trying to make it look better at the same time.
Tell me about your service area.
We focus mainly on Dallas-Fort Worth. I know that's a big area, but I have people that live in Fort Worth. I have people that live in Rockwall, people that live in Sherman. So we have more of a branch method of servicing our customers. So although we have a large service area, we have local branches in each area to handle those customers. And then we also, through our managed repair program, do service customers in East Texas as well. North, I always say our border is when you hit a casino, you're probably gone too far because we are mainly in Texas.
Yeah.
We are exploring licensing in Oklahoma because we've been requested to do that through some of these repair programs, but that's still in the research phase.
Well, tell me about StormHero.
Mm-hmm.
Let's cover a little bit about the differentiation between the two businesses.
Sure. Well, StormHero was the brainchild of my business partner, Roy Ponder, and myself talking after a networking group about how bad the weather is getting in Texas and how I was up like all night the night before, worried about nocturnal tornadoes and all the lightning and things like that. And we started talking about how there's so few people that service folks before the storm hits. What's there to protect us from the storm? And Roy himself had experienced a lightning strike near his home that actually took out one of his solar panels, and he didn't realize it for 6 months. So we got to talking about lightning protection, and it just evolved into, hey, we really have a passion for protecting mainly people.
Yeah.
You know, the side effect is it'll protect your property as well, but we really want to protect the people. And that's what grew into StormHero.
Yeah.
And our focus there is storm shelters and lightning systems.
Yep.
Mainly residential lightning systems. There are some great companies that focus on commercial lightning systems. Totally different line of business.
Yeah.
Just like in roofing. And so what we want to do is help homeowners protect themselves and their property from lightning strikes.
Well, and people think that lightning strikes won't affect them. And I'll tell you, Catherine, I've had my house. I was literally watching what was a beautiful storm. I was like, oh, look at the pretty rain. And I was standing out on the front porch covered. I was eating some soup or something, just something ridiculous. And lightning hit the top of my roof. Of course, I almost dropped to the ground.
Sure.
And then I saw it rain down pieces of shingles on the front yard. I was like, okay, that's real serious.
Yeah. And ducking doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. It turns out it didn't help. And I just spilled my soup.
You can't cover your head.
You can't.
Lightning strike.
It turns out, and it did some pretty serious damage to the house, the electrical system, and even burnt some of the beams up in the roof. Where it had this kind of spidery blackened effect from where all the electricity went. And so, but we did not have any protection other than, luckily I had the roof over me, but I'll just tell you, it happens and people don't think it does. Yeah.
And the reality is, everybody asks, why does it hail so much now? And why is there so much lightning now? And the reality is it about does the same as it used to. Lightning strikes are increasing a little bit, but that's a different discussion. But we've simply built a lot more stuff in the way of where it falls.
Yep. It used to just strike out in the field.
Right.
Now
10 years ago, if lightning hit Howell, Texas, you might have hit a cow. And now you're going to hit $700,000, $800,000 homes.
Yeah.
So the misconception about lightning, and even tornadoes really, is that, it's only going to strike a tree or it's only going to strike the tallest point. Lightning is going to be attracted to the ground wherever it is aiming. And if it's aiming at something that's in its way, it's still going to get to the ground.
Yeah.
Just like in your home situation.
It'll find a way.
And even if it doesn't catch on fire, and I hope it didn't,
luckily, no.
It can still fry an electrical system. Yep. And you're out of your home for a year because you got to have all the sheetrock taken out. You have to have the house rewired. None of that is fun.
No. I've lived through it. It's not fun.
Yes.
It was a lot of work.
And so that was our passion is, it's not like we did it to make a fortune. It was just it's basically a hobby that turned into a business.
Yeah. And a successful one. You've been doing it for a little time here and you're helping a lot of people.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's wonderful. Well, how do you like to be reached? Of course, for everybody listening or watching, all of everything Catherine has given me is in the show notes. Go into the description and it's there. But do you have you prefer a portal on your website or what? How do people reach out to you?
MyRoofHero.com is the easiest way to find us.
Fantastic.
You can actually get an instant roof quote on MyRoofHero.com. It's not a sales pitch. It's a quote that we honor. We probably have 2 or 3 people a month that choose that route now.
Yeah,
I like to joke that my nephew's somebody who would never talk to somebody, but he'll order a roof on Amazon.
Yeah.
So if you're that way, it's okay. We have a way to help you too. But yeah, myroofhero.com is the best way. That way, if I'm busy, then my office manager or one of the other folks on the team can help. and respond quickly.
Excellent. Well, Catherine, thanks for coming on the show and just sharing all that you do and the passion that you have for doing what you do.
Yeah, I appreciate it.